Welcome to Daunting Tags. In this video, we're just going to talk about Montana preference points. By the end of this video, you should understand preference points and also know whether you're going to buy one or not. So in Montana, a preference point is just for non-resident applicants. And what that is it's an extra, let's say your name gets put in the bucket an extra time. So the more points that you have, the more preference points you have, the better chance you have of being drawn for just a general non-resident tag. Now, it's not the same as a bonus point. A bonus point is like in almost any other state, how you accumulate points in order to hunt, let's say, better quality units or designated units that require points to hunt. All right, that's a bonus point, and those are the same for non-residents and residents. Okay, but we're talking about preference points, which again is just an accumulation of points for non-resident hunters to better up their odds of being drawn. So 75% of the tags go to people with a preference point. 25% of the non-resident general tags go to people that have 0 points. So depending on the year, depending on how many people purchased a preference point, you actually have better odds not buying a preference point as you do buying one. So as you accumulate preference points, say you bought one last year, you bought one this year, and then you got drawn this year, when you draw your tag, you'll be zeroed out. Okay, you'll go back to 0 starting over again. Now, in order to accumulate preference points, you have to apply every year. And not just for a preference point, you have to apply for a general license, elk or deer, or whatever the species is that those points are in. You have to apply every year, otherwise you'll lose those points. Now, the only time this doesn't apply is your first year. Let's say you're starting this year, 2025, with 0 points, and from July 1st to December 31st, you can buy a preference point and not apply for a tag and not lose any points, nothing like that, right? You don't have any points to lose. But anyways, so your first year, if you're planning for, let's say, a future year, you could buy a preference point for $100, not apply for a tag. And then the next year, when you apply for your tag, you would buy another preference point going into essentially your first year of actually applying, going into that year with 2 points, which is pretty much a guaranteed draw. But again, once you have a preference point, you have to apply for a general license every year. If you skip a year, you will go back to 0. You will lose your preference points. Montana tends to favor outfitter clients. So if you're going with a guide, lucky you, you get to buy 2 preference points when the rest of us only get to buy 1. Okay, again, 2 preference points is pretty much a guarantee with both deer and elk. I mean, your odds are, with deer, I think it's 90%. So no one can accumulate more than 3 points, because 3 points is 100% guaranteed draw for both deer and elk. And again, if you skipped a year, then you'll be set back to 0. So there's just no way of accumulating more than 3 points. So let's say you're going with a party, okay? You can have a hunt party of up to 5 people in your party. So those preference points will be averaged out. So let's say that you've been saving up, you have 2 or 3 points, and you invite your friends that have 0, but they bought a preference point. Obviously, they're going to take the average of however many points you guys have as a collective group, and that will be how many points you guys have going into the draw. Now, you might look at the statistics, because up to, I think, 1.8 points for elk is a 0% chance of drawing. You have a lot better chance with 0 points than you do with 1.8. For elk, that's a 0% draw. For deer, that's pretty much a guarantee. Okay, so now just to cover a few statistics we're gonna go over elk first. In 2023, you had a 60% chance of drawing with 0 points. 0% chance of drawing with 1 point. 2 points was 84%, and of course 3 points was 100%. 2024, you had a 56% chance of drawing. Again, this is for elk. 2024, you had a 56% chance of drawing with 0 points. And you had a 90% chance of drawing with 2 points. And for deer statistics, deer in 2023, you had a 53% chance of drawing with 0 points. You had a 40% chance of drawing with 1 point, and of course, 100% chance with 3. In 2024, you had a 51% chance of drawing with 0 points, and 49% chance with 1 point. So you can kind of see that 0 points, it almost seems like a no-brainer, okay? Because you typically have a higher percentage of drawing with 0 points than you do with 1. The reason I buy a point every single year is because 2 points is like almost a guarantee. It's 90%. I mean, you'd be pretty unlucky to not be drawn, right? So by not buying a point, you're gambling this year, and then you're gambling again next year, and every year after that. By buying a point, I don't like to gamble like that. By buying a point, I have roughly the same odds this year as the people that did not buy a point, and close to the same odds. And next year, I don't have the same odds. Next year, I have a 90% chance. So for me, I'm buying the preference point. But if you like this video, check out this video, Hunt Montana 2025, where I just sort of go over a general hunt strategy for Montana. I mean, everything from applying to planning your hunt. Thanks for watching.